Right? Okay. So I want to welcome all to the call, and I really appreciate you taking your time out of a very busy day, Monday, to join us to be able to introduce you all to Brad Doyle, our new upline leader and consultant to corporate Zenoa. And that what I learned over the years is this: if you I seized the moment. So I saw an opening on Brad's calendar on Saturday or Friday when I was talking to him.
Yeah.
Brad, that's it. We're gonna do a meeting. Okay. So what I love about Zoom is that we can record, and the thing is that we're going to be able to do a whole lot more with Zoom now, and do team building and masterminding and all that thing. So
That's right.
I want everybody to know and understand that. I'm real excited about what's up and coming. And Brad, I formally met Brad on April 2017 when we were at the launch. And after the launch, I came to the office and I met Brad personally to talk about the Wave 3. I had built 3 Wave 3s in my organization, and Brad kept on trying to show me something about the Wave 3. I kept on saying, no, the problem with the plan is you're talking about that, but the problem with the plan is it really kind of stops at anybody from looking beyond their Wave 3 because everybody wants to make the $1,000, okay? So the thing is that, at the same time as Brad was talking to me, I'm sitting there saying to myself, Brad has lupus and RA, and how can we help him with our products? I don't even think he knows about our products yet. He's all about marketing plan and setting up executive things at corporate. So I'm sitting there talking about that. Now, the thing is that I'm really, really happy to say that, number one, Brad is now our upline team leader, the first line to the company, which is just thrilling. And the other thing is that I can say, I want Brad to share his testimonial about his health because this is what we do. I mean, Brad has enhanced the marketing plan with Brad Reese because he saw what the problem was a year and a half or so ago. And I saw what Brad's problem was, better health, so that he could be a great leader as a Zenoa. So
that's right.
Introduce you, here's Brad to tell his story, and then he's going to go through his testimonial, his experience with an MLM, what he knows he can do with us as a team in building business around the world. And he will introduce a little bit of the 2 new products, and also too, why we want to have all the team to group up their team into 3 main legs. He's going to explain the enhanced marketing plan. Know that you will need to hear this marketing plan over and over again to get a grasp on it. But I have heard it so many times, and I am excited about it. So October can't come fast enough. Prepping for October, everybody. So take it away, Brad.
Thank you, April. That's awesome. I have to say that meeting April was really important for me when I first came here because, I'd heard so many great stories about her building a group and building it fast and really making it happen. And then when I got the chance to meet her, she lived up to everything that I had heard, and that she knew what she wanted and she was going to go get it. And I thought, man, that's awesome. One of the common things I've said at the corporation since I've been here was, we need 20 Aprils. We need 20 more Aprils. That's our goal. We need 20 more Aprils. And so in any case, I really appreciate working with April and now with Teal and the organization. I see Peg is on, and Jeannie, we've had a chance to talk. And so in any case.
Sherry.
Oh yeah, I see Sherry snuck in there. Okay.
Been a leader in my team in the area for a long time. So she's
awesome.
kind of gal. So I really wanted you to meet her as well.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, as April said, I have lupus and RA, although I talked to Dr. Williams last week, and he says, you used to have lupus and RA. You don't have it anymore. And I was like, oh, well, the medical community wouldn't say that. But he says, well, they don't know in the sense that you have it if the systems that are in your body are turned off and not functioning properly. He says, but yours are now turned on and they're functioning properly. So do you really have it? I said, well, you know what? I don't care if I have it or not, as long as I don't feel like I have it. And, when April met me, I was I was in a situation where I couldn't get out of a chair without really struggling. I had really joint issues. I had energy issues. I was tired all the time, and it hurt all the time. And I got started with the core care and the SRQ, and that helped a little bit. But then it really made a big turn when Nuka Hiva came out, and she introduced me to Doc Williams, and then he came, and gosh, I drank a bottle of Nuka Hiva for 4 days, and a half a bottle, and I had this protocol, and I'm mixing up this stuff at home with salt and Morton's light salt and all this stuff, and it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to go with this. And he even asked me, he says, are you willing to get off all the prescription drugs and just give this a shot? And it was like, are you kidding me? Of course, I'll give anything a shot. I can't get that much worse than I'm at now. Oh, by the way, I'd lost 100 pounds before this, and I maybe gained a little bit back when I met April, but not a whole lot. I was pretty much skin and bones and looking like a cancer patient. And it was scary when I'd look in the mirror and just like, wow, that's not even me. Because my background, I was always an athlete. I played baseball at the University of Michigan, and I just see myself as a sports person, right? And so here I was, this frail person. But anyway, I drank the Nuka Hiva, and I started taking the SRQ and the core care just like he told me, and hydrating and all this stuff. And he'd come in every Friday, and he'd see me, and we'd do these exercises that he would teach me to help me just get my body to take care of itself. Because and I totally believed in his philosophy that your body was made perfect, and it just needs to get in a situation where it can heal itself. I think, I believe that. So it just all made sense. And of course, the end of the story is I haven't taken a prescription drug for over a year. Since he told me to get off it, I haven't taken one since. I have no problem with my physical motions. I'm not in pain. I sleep good. I'm not tired. I just feel normal. And, you forget how great normal is until you aren't normal. So anyway, I've total thanks. So I became a tremendous believer in the product. Now, my background in network marketing goes all the way back to like 1980 when I was in college. And I was approached by somebody about a business opportunity, and I was a bank teller. I was 3 part-time jobs and going full-time to school. And one of my jobs was a bank teller, and a guy came in to open up a bank account for his network marketing business. And so I had to ask him a bunch of questions. And so I kind of forced him to prospect me, although he never got back to me. And like 6 months later, I saw him walking through the bank, and I flagged him down and said, hey, whatever happened to your project? And da-da-da. And long story short, he came over that night and shared with me this whole concept of network marketing, which I thought was like brilliant, because then I could like pretend I'm in college for the rest of my life and never really have to get serious and go have a job. And so I thought that was cool. So that's what I did. And, quite honestly, from the time that I got my business up and running and was able to go full time, I never had a job since. Matter of fact, the only time I ever really went to an office was when I started coming into Zenoa. So I know more about being a distributor than I know about being corporate. Although I've owned a network marketing company, I started one myself. I've built large organizations within network marketing. At one time, I don't know, we had several 100,000 people in an organization, and I served on a board of directors, an advisory group of 30 of us that managed and advised a company that had 7 million distributors around the world. And so, I kind of got an angle of a lot of different things within the industry. The last 10 years, I've pretty much been consulting with companies like Zenoa, startup companies. And always with the thought that eventually I want to go back in the field, because, that's the best life there is to have the time and the money freedom that this business provides. And, just recently the opportunity came up, and it's like, okay, this is like a perfect storm, perfect timing. And then Brad and I have been talking for a long time about, what we could do to the compensation plan to make it work better. Because like April said, the concept of the power wave was powerful. And we want to take that same power, but we want to implement it in the whole plan, not just that one part, because that one part got people like April and Kitty and others all focused on that third wave, and then trying to get 27 people all lined up to do their 150 is not an easy task. And you got to have a lot more than that in order to get the 27. So you focus way too much time on that. And if you've seen me talk about the power of depth, of how you become a multiplier instead of an adder, the concept is outside volume, the magic of outside volume. So through that process, we came up with an idea for a marketing plan. Brad Reese is brilliant with numbers, and he had some help with in our staff here at Zenoa from Alvaro, who's also really, really good with numbers, and they kind of massaged it, and Brad and I have been talking about it for a long time, and it's like, wow, if we could do something like this, it will totally change the industry, because the power of the power wave was that you could say, if I do this, I get $1,000. And you don't have to worry about percentages or where the volume is, or, a little bit, because you had to be on wave 3, but you just knew exactly where you needed to go and what you needed to do to get that $1,000. Now, you weren't sure about any other money, but you were sure about that $1,000. And so the concept that we developed, that we're hoping to launch here in October, is to use that same concept but simplify and build out a different kind, or a modified rewards plan. So I'll talk about that in a minute, but we had a call earlier this morning with April and some others, and Tia was on the call as well, talking about our new IT system that's coming. And this is really critical for the future of the business. And because, after 38 years of experience in developing back ends and consulting with companies and helping a big company develop a $1 billion online business, I've really come to the conclusion that you can't hire out. You have to build within. You have to own the IT system, the back office, the technology. You got to be able to walk down the hall and say, this is broken, fix it, and have it fixed. And because all technology breaks. If you got any kind of technology at all, there's going to be bugs always. And so you're constantly in a process of making it better and making it more streamlined and finding little hitches here and there. But you got to be able to fix them fast. When you have an outside company, it's very expensive, and it takes way more time than is necessary to do that. And so this is a couple of solutions coming at once that are going to totally launch us into volumes like you can't imagine. Okay, what you probably thought was going to happen when we launched is now going to happen, because the barriers to real growth are going to be knocked down. Number one is the IT in the back office, and number two is a compensation plan that will reward you, and in the process of rewarding you will create the dynamics that creates big numbers. And big numbers is what creates big income and big security, because to me, security is as important as income. If you got to go out and make it happen every day or every month over and over and over again, and you never live the dream of network marketing, which is, in the beginning in network marketing, generally you're underpaid. Okay. And the dream, though, is to eventually be highly overpaid. And I've witnessed that. I've been in a situation where, I made 6 figures a month, and, I was highly overpaid. I didn't hardly do anything for it at that point, except travel once a month for a week, just so people will get motivated to know that when you do all this work, that it'll be worth it. And, so that was a heavy burden, but somebody had to do it. And so I was willing to do that. Just kidding. But that's the dream of network marketing, right? Is that someday it's going to be huge. And also in the process, if I got amazing products like we got, I'm going to help literally millions of people along the way, whether they want to build a business or not. Everybody wants good health. Everybody wants to feel better and just have more energy and more vitality and sleep better. And there's one thing about money. If you lose money, you can get it back. If you lose health, it's hard to get it back. You could lose it all. I just feel fortunate that I lost some health, but I've been able to get it back from some great products. So we have that opportunity to spread literally millions of people around the world, and that's parts of our process. So we have both, best of both worlds. We have great product and great opportunity, and we just are in the process of making it 10 times better. I'm telling you, we're going to look back a year from now and you can say, I remember that call. I don't know if I believed you then, but wow, you were right. And I don't need to be right. I just want you to be rich, or if that's what you want. I mean, rich is relative, right? Rich can be an extra $500 a month so that you just don't worry as much, because that's a big killer too, right? And when we talk about health, I mean, talk about the greatest killer in the world, that's stress. And stress doesn't come from the abundance of money. I've never had an argument with my partner about what to do with the extra money. You know, like, honey, listen, I put $10,000 in that account and I told you, gosh darn it, you need to spend it. Get it out of that account. What's wrong with you? Why haven't you done that? Have you ever had that argument? I don't think so. Okay. And so we're doing both. We're going to help people become healthy and wealthy. And I'm excited about that. So in any case, I'm excited about your team. I'm excited about your leadership. And just let me share my screen and I'll show you just a little bit about the new compensation plan. Let me see if I've got that open here. There it is. Yeah, sure do. Okay, let me find it. Let's see, where is it? Hold on one second, I'll find it. For some reason, I'm not seeing it. Huh, that's weird. First time that, let me try it again. Okay, share. There it is, popped up the second time. Okay, can you see my screen? No? Okay, let me.
Yes, Brad.
Oh, you can. Okay, great. Okay, I call it an assurity plan because I just like the idea of being assured of being paid. You do this and you get that. And that just makes it a lot easier. And I always refer to the other plans because, you know, again, I've been doing this for a long time and I've seen a lot of companies, a lot of plans, and I haven't seen one of them that I wouldn't consider really mostly smoke and mirrors. There was parts of it you could understand, but all of it kind of foggy, kind of like, if I do this, and then you kind of have to come to the conclusion on faith that if I work hard and I do all the things they tell me, because they wouldn't tell me something that isn't right? They're my upline. And so if I just do it and I work hard, eventually I'm going to be in a place where I want to be. And you just have to have faith. Well, to me, that's smoke and mirrors. That requires a lot of faith. And the thing is that there are usually too many ways to make money. They got 14 ways to make money, and you got to try to figure them all out. They're complicated formulas. How do you figure it out? You know, how much money do you get paid on, you know, on your 15th leg? I don't know. They figure it out. It just comes. I get this check at the end of the month, or I look in my back office and I see a number and I see how it's broken out, but I have no idea how they calculate it. And then sometimes you ask yourself, well, how come it went down? How could it have gone down? My volume went up, but that money went down. That doesn't make sense because the formulas are complicated, difficult to structure the volume. The income range is too large. I mean, I can tell you now that the range for just take Zen 4, the range can be several $100s a month difference. And so if somebody quotes the higher number in the range and you get there and you're in the lower number of the range, you think, well, somebody lied to me. It isn't working, or something's not right. And it creates doubt, and that all those things hurt your business. Okay, when you have any doubt, you're not going to share it with other people. The show it and do it are two different things. So you do one thing and you show it a different way, where you show it and then people get in and they say, well, that's how you do it. No, that's how we show it, but we do it different. Well, that's complicated. That's difficult. All right. I believe that what we're doing would be a new standard in the industry because there's no more smoke and mirrors. I'm going to show you a way where there's 3 ways to make money. Very, very simple. Simple formulas and simple structure. Okay. An exact income. You want to make this, you do this, period. Okay. But this also creates numbers. It's not just do this, and that's it, and that's the dead end, and now you're going to spin plates and work hard all your life just to maintain that. This has to lead to something even more. And so we're going to show you exact income, and the way we show it and the way we do it are the same. Okay, so here's how you do it. Now, the first income is an onboarding bonus. We're all familiar with that, and that rewards you for bringing people in the business, for enrolling people, right? And it's 20%. So on a success pack, it would be $80. If you had 3 people, you make $240 immediate income. So that's for the new person and for the people that are constantly enrolling people, which is what you want to do. Continue to enroll. You know, just because we say you need 3 legs, and we'll talk about that here in a second, doesn't mean you just enroll 3 and stop. If you're a good enroller, enroll 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20, 30, 50. Doesn't matter. You're going to place them in 3 legs, but enrolling is profitable in onboarding, and it also sets an example for your team. Okay, so that's onboarding. And then the second bonus is what I call rank bonus, and it's income based on volume in 3 legs. No more than 60% in any one leg. So the maximum you can count from one leg is 60%. And that the theory there is that you can't just have all your volume with one leg. I'm not going to get rich on one person. Okay, you got to build a business, and build a business means if you can help one person be successful, you can help 2, and you can help 3. Now, 3 is a magic number because 3 allows you to have a life and build this business. Because when your priorities are your faith and your family and your job ahead of your business, because you know that's how they should be positioned. In other words, you can't lose your job doing the business, and you can't lose your family doing the business or your faith. I mean, you got to maintain, those are priorities. You do the business because of those things, not in spite of them. All right, and so 60% is along that line, the principle that you're going to have a balance. You're going to help more than one person. You're going to help 3 people. All right. And then the other thing is that at least 10% or a minimum of 10% is in your 3rd or more leg, what we call 3+. All right. Now, there's really no reason to have a plus. All of your volume can be put into 2, 3 legs. All right. Now, you might not put them in your biggest leg because they don't need help, but you might enroll people on your width and put them down in your 2nd or 3rd legs to strengthen those legs for the rank requirements. And so you can see over here, there's a chart. Okay. And don't be scared by the chart. It's real simple. Just go down the left-hand column and say, how much do you want to make? And then I'll show you exactly how to do it. So let's say we come down here and say, well, I'm going to make $1,000 in a month. Every month. I want to make 1,000 guaranteed. There's that 1,000 again, right? Well, how do you do it? Well, you need total volume 7,500. Again, the maximum is 60%, which is 4,500. So you can count up to 4,500 in one leg. Okay, and then your outside volume, your outside of that one leg, you have to have at least 3,000, right? Because 3,000 plus 4,500 equals 7,500. And then you got to have a minimum of 750, which is 10% of 7,500 in a 3rd leg. Now, by the way, your volume counts. So if you did 150, then you'd need 600 in a 3rd leg because 150 of that is your personal volume. Or you might do 300 or more. Some of you do 500, even up to 1,000. So that volume is your personal volume as well. So people say, oh my God, I got to have a 3rd leg. Well, yeah, but not a very big one. Okay. So in any case, that kind of group will create 1,000. What if you came down here and said, no, I want to make $8,000. Okay. I want to make $8,000 a month because that's really going to change how I live. Well, you'd need 75,000 in volume. You could count up to 45,000 in any one leg. You need another 30 to add up to 75, and then 9,000 has to be in your 3rd leg or more, including your own volume. So that's how it works. Okay. Now, this is the neat thing. When you share this with people, how easy is this? You pull out a chart. I wouldn't have any of these. I would have this and maybe these 2 columns, but I would just focus on this bold one and this bold one. And I'd say, how much do you need to make? They say, I want $8,000. Well, the answer is you need 75,000 in 3 lines with at least 9,000 in the 3rd line. It can't be that simple. It is. So it's simple because you're looking for 3 legs. What's that going to look like? Well, here's what it would look like. Here's you. Here's your 3 teams. You got all these people down below. You can count up to 45,000 in one leg, and then you need 30 in the other 2 with at least 9 in the third. Is that simple? Now, let me give you an example, though. What if this leg had, because some of you, your first leg is really a lot bigger than your second and third leg, and that's kind of normal in the beginning, to be honest, okay? Because a lot of times your first leg is built by somebody in your upline, and they're the ones that really helped you get it started. Not all the time, but sometimes. But let's say this leg here, let's just say it was 145,000. So 145,000 plus the 30 would put you at 175,000. So where would you get, what check would you get? Well, you'd go here and you'd say, well, you qualify for the 125,000 and the $11,000. But let's see, you can count up to 75,000 in one leg, right? Well, you got 145,000 here, so you can count 75,000 of it, and you need 50,000 outside. Oh, don't have the 50,000 outside. So you go back down to this one and say, okay, you need at least 45,000 total. You've got that. You got 175,000. Oh, I'm sorry. Go back to this one. You have 75,000. You have 175, so you have at least 75. You can only count 45,000 in one leg. You got 145 here, but we only count 45 of it. And you got 30,000 outside and at least 9. Boom, boom. You get that $8,000 check. Okay, so even if this leg is a lot bigger, these things still come into play as far as how you figure out how much you would make that month, okay? And so if you said, well, I'm at 8,000 now, this is what your group looks like right now, and you say, well, I want to make 11,000. Well, you need to increase this by 50,000 to 125,000, okay? Now, where's the 50,000 got to go? Well, it's got to be at least, this says you need 50,000. I'm sorry, to 125, you need at least 50,000 in your 2+ groups. That's these over here. So this needs to go from 30 to 50. So you need another 20 here, right? And we said you need another 50. So you need at least, you could get 30 from here and 20 from here, and you'd qualify for the $11,000 check. So it kind of tells you where you need to go work. Who do you need to work with? Who do you need to add volume to and add people? Does that make sense? Okay, so that's the second income. Now, the third income I call pipeline leadership pool bonus. It's a pool. And you take 10% of global sales and you put it in a pool. And then the pool's divided up into 1, 2, 3, 4 pools. The first pool, 42% of this number goes to that first group of people. That's your 7,500, 15,000, and 25,000 ranks. Okay, I call it a Pro 1, Pro 2, Pro 3. So if you were a Pro 2, you'd get 2 shares in that pool. It's really simple. So that pool is a number. It's 42% of whatever this is. And then you take all the people who got these shares in that pool and you add them all up and you divide them by the number of people that are in the pool or the number of shares in the pool, and that's the value of each share. And if you got 2 of them, you multiply it by 2 and that's your extra income. Now, this is gravy, okay? Because this here is 40%. See, we pay out 52%, okay, of the total number. This is 40% of it. This is 10% of it. And this is 2%. So that's all the money. Gets paid out every month. There's no money that's held back. It's all given, because this third one right here, this number can fluctuate a little bit. So if we pay out these checks, let's say we pay out all these checks and we calculate it up and it adds up to 39% of global volume. If it's 39% of global volume, hold on. Can you mute Donnelly? I think we're getting some background noise there, April. So if we pay out on the rank bonus, we only pay out 39%, then what we do is we add that extra percent right here and pay out 11% in the pools. Okay, so it all gets paid out. That's 50%, plus if there's any left from the onboarding bonus, that 2% there would also get put in the pools. So the pool is kind of the slush fund. Okay, that's the one that's the gravy. But the vast majority of your income, the vast majority of your income is right here. Now I can tell you that right here, this is 4,500, because you're going to be wondering, well, how's it going to matter to me, right? You're going to immediately want to calculate your own number and see where would I end up. And we can do that. But let me just point this out. 4,500 is 500 short of what we call today a Zen 4, okay? And in this case, 4,500 pays $500. I can tell you that a Zen 4 on average does not get a check for $500, okay? And so this plan, actually, you're gonna find out in a lot of cases, it pays more. And here's a little bit of the magic of why that is. Because when Brad and I talked about this, the industry average, okay, and I've been doing this for a long time, the industry averages, it pays out 4 to 6%. That means if you were doing $4,000 or $100,000 in volume, you'd have a check somewhere between $4,000 and $6,000. Well, on $75,000, we pay out $8,000. Okay, on 1,000, let's go something I can multiply. On 15,000, we pay out 2,000. 10% is 1,500. 4% would be 600, and we pay out 2,000. You say, well, how can you do that? Well, there's two things that we did in the plan that help us do this. First of all, look down here, the big dog, right? Chairman, 50,000 a month. You think, wow, that's great. On 1.2 million in volume, that's 2.5%. So it's way under the 4 to 6% average. You say, well, how will we get big dogs into the business? Well, because their income's going to come in these pools. Because when you have four shares here, 4 shares here, 4 shares here, and 4 shares here in all 4 of these pools, and you're one of these chairmen, there aren't very many people in this pool. That number is going to be a big number for these people down here. So they're going to get paid in the pool. But we want to make sure that guaranteed income is for the people that are really carrying the water. And you know what? The people carrying the water in our business are from 1,500 to say 75,000. It's that group of people right there. And these numbers are higher percentages than the normal, than the industry average. So we've skewed it to pay the people that are, you know, really serious about the business, but their income isn't quite there enough that they can be full-time, right? Because if you're making, you know, $3,500 a month, chances are you can't leave your job. You're still in a position where you need your job in order to pay your bills, and so you're still doing that. But you're working real hard at that level, 25,000. You might even still have your job at 5,500. I don't know what you do for a living, but maybe you make really good money, and 5,500 is not going to pay your bills, so you'd still have to work. So anyway, the point is that we've skewed it so that this range of people are getting a higher percentage of income on volume than is industry average. Okay. So does that make sense? Now, new standard, added up, 20% onboarding, rank bonus, pipeline bonus. 3 ways to make money, simple formula, simple structure, exact income. How you show it is how you do it. It's get 3 legs and get volume in 3 legs. And how do we do that? Well, we build depth. Because you see the outside volume magic is still here. You still need that outside volume. So when you put volume underneath people, like you would put, like let's say this person was working down here and that person was at 345,000, this person would have a huge incentive to build that side volume. So that's that magic of side volume. And in the Maximize the Compensation Reward Plan training that I did in our back office, I explain all that, okay? So we haven't lost that magic. We still have it. As a matter of fact, even more so, because the incentives for having side volume are very clear, right? Because you could literally say, you know, if this was 345,000, you could be looking at 300,000 down here, making 20,000 a month, and the only thing holding you back is you only have 30,000 here and you need 120 over here. What would you think you need to do? You need 90,000 volume in these 2 legs and your income goes to 20,000 a month, you'll figure out how to get it done. it's very clear what you need to do to get to the next levels. Okay, so in any case, that's how the new system's going to work, and hopefully we're going to launch that October 1st. So as you're looking at your businesses now, you want to get your groups in threes, where it's somewhat of a balance as much as you can. So you may have a leg that's pretty big already. Maybe it's already more than 50% of your volume. And so you're not going to literally place people there. But over here, if this is less than 50%, these two, or you've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, put them all over here, move them and place them, and get help as far as where should you place them and who should you place and where. Okay, and you can get with April or Peg or somebody in your up team that can really give you some guidance as to how to structure that to get these outside legs in position to qualify when we start this new program. Okay, so April, what else would you like me to cover?
Well, Brad, that was great. That was really good. And what I want to say, just when you said in the third leg, your volume counts in your third leg.
Your personal volume, yes.
Your personal volume counts in your third leg. I don't want people to forget that you bring in customers. That's your volume.
That's right. All of your customer volume is right there in the third leg.
Yeah. So the deal is that it doesn't mean you have to buy $1,000 worth of product. What it means is just get 3 customers to come in.
That's right.
This program, we didn't cover customers, people, but the thing is, in this program, 3 customers gives you $150 in cash. It
health pack
includes your $150 with the health pack. Yes, I'm sorry. It also includes your volume of 150, and on top of that, you get a free health pack. I mean, this is such a no-brainer that it's like, and you have incredible upline. Every one of my leaders is capable of helping to guide any one of you to whatever it is that you want. So you want to get that message out loud and clear. And WhatsApp, being with WhatsApp, Brad, I mean, it has put me in contact with, a chiropractor out in California who's just full of life and loves what's happening. I mean, he understood the hydration program, and he is like, whoa, this really enhances the products. Yes. Yep. And his marketing plan has really been enhanced. And it's like, so I don't want people to think they have to buy their way into ranks, but we just share the products with everybody. And anybody that's on our team listening to this phone call, whether it's now or live or being recorded, we have an incredible back office on the website that, Teal really developed that can get you into any part of information that you need for product, for how to build a business, for, listening to Dr. Affa, for listening to David Casteller, who explains the program right perfectly to the T. And then last but not least, let's not forget our Zenoa app. Yep. So, I really just want to enforce that because the Zenoa app is wonderful. And, you say you're a busy chiropractor, or you're a busy mom with 3 little kids at home. I can say, listen, you have your testimonial. Give me your line of people that you would like to have, them look at the Zenoa app. And I can just say, Sally wanted you to take a look at this. She's one of your friends. She's getting great results with these products. Just take a look at this. And if you have any questions, ask me. And the thing is, I can enroll them, and then Sally gets all the residual income. That's like phenomenal. And with this program, it works. It works perfectly. So yeah. I just really want you to understand all that before you make a decision of like, I still don't understand all the percentages. I don't understand the third leg and all that kind of thing. You will. Give me a call. You'll understand it. It's something to be really excited about. Yep.
This is the time to get with your upline and find out, what do I need to do to maximize this situation that's changing for the better?
Yes.
And how do I put myself in a position to really take advantage of it? And that really requires like a mastermind type approach. really important. You're not in this alone, and it's not all up to all of your efforts. It's a matter of leveraging efforts of all the great people you have in your team. And it's really not as difficult as it can be or it can seem. Okay, it's pretty simple. So if you have questions, get with April or call somebody, whoever your coach is, and say, what do I got to do to get in position for this?
Yes, and we're going to set up mastermind meetings. I think on a Monday, we'll talk about the time that will work for everybody. But this is really simple. You can be out and about. You can be having a lunch with somebody, and just take a half an hour out of your time to talk about what it is that was a success for you that week.
That's right.
I have lots of those kind of stories to share, and sometimes it just gets too long and lengthy to post it on WhatsApp.
Yep.
So I thank everybody for being on the call. Brad, it's wonderful that we can have this, and I know that it'd be great to have you, once a week, hearing from some of the leaders, and maybe you have some suggestions to be able to share with us. So
absolutely, yep.
I want to thank everybody, and if you don't have anything else to add, I think we'll say goodbye, and until next week.
Awesome.
Questions, give me a call. Thank you. End meeting.